How's everybody doing? How's the weekend? Anything good happen?
It's a long weekend. Slept in.
Was it a long weekend? You just don't have class Friday.
Yeah, I just didn't have class.
Okay, good for you. Anything else? Anything good happen? No?
Had the outfit banquet on Saturday. That was pretty interesting.
The what banquet?
An outfit banquet.
Oh, okay. It was interesting. Why?
Because the sophomores of the Fish put presentations together and just absolutely roasted each other. It was hilarious.
Like in a good way, I hope?
It got out of hand
Ah.
pretty quick, but
Okay.
it was civil.
Okay, cool. All right. There's Emily. Okay, everybody did the reading, right?
Yep.
Had to. I read your stuff already. I didn't know you read longboard?
Yes, sir.
I didn't know that. Learned something new. Okay. Okay, so why don't New Year's resolutions stick? Did anybody make one this year?
No.
Good for y'all. You will when you're older. Why don't they stick though? Anybody seen like parent, friend, family member make a New Year's resolution? Yes, sir. Why?
I don't have the willpower to do it.
Yeah, pretty much. You can put stuff on social media right now. You can be like, if you made a New Year's resolution, you didn't make it 5 weeks. Okay, why though? Why don't they stick? You're on the right track, huh?
Because it's hard.
Because it's hard. Why is it hard?
It requires change.
Huh?
It requires change.
Requires change. Yeah, change can be hard. Okay. What else?
Sometimes it's outside the goal, like outside of something reasonable.
Yeah. Okay. If my New Year's resolution is to dunk a basketball, is that going to happen very easily? No. Jeffrey.
A lot of times people don't really put together a game plan. They just kind of say, I'm just going to get skinny.
Right.
It's like, that's it.
Yeah. I'm gonna lose weight, and then they're at Taco Casa like that afternoon because they're hungover. Not a good choice, right? Not a good choice. Still have never eaten Taco Casa. What'd you say? Did you say something, Andre? Takes work. Yeah. Okay. Good. Excellent. Okay. You're absolutely right. All these things are right. Okay. Good stuff. So, in some of that stuff, because it's hard, because it requires change, did what you learned last semester actually help you with that? A little bit?
Yeah.
Why?
My intentional leadership development plan.
Okay.
It required you to think about the steps you're going to take to make that change.
Oh my God. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. I'm going to tell Dr. Keller. Okay? We're going to make that quote and put it on the Hollingsworth Center website. The LDP, best thing that ever happened. William.
Well, at least I know for me that whenever I was kind of like failing, I was kind of recognizing more that I was falling into old habits
Okay.
a lot quicker than I did previously.
Okay, cool. Did anybody read? There were several comments. Does anybody remember responding to William's post? I think Keegan did. I'm trying to remember. Did you remember reading it? Did anybody remember reading it? Okay. Yours is a little different, William. I'm not terribly surprised, but we'll get into it. Okay? All right, good. What else? Was learning about your constraints helpful last semester? Why, Jeffrey?
They just give you things to focus on, for sure.
Okay.
That I was more aware of.
Okay.
Not as aware of things
Yeah, okay. Especially when it kind of sucks, right? Nobody likes being told what you're bad at, okay, or what you're not good at, or that you might be kind of an asshole, right? That's not fun. Emily. Good, yeah, okay. So not only did it kind of reaffirm maybe some things you already kind of knew, it kind of gave you the next steps. Like, let's fix it, right? How do we deal with it, right? Or even with other people. It's pretty, you guys are really good at finding constraints that other people have, right? Like, you suck. Okay, but you got to help them, right? Or you got to work with them, okay? Let's see, juniors, you guys are like, you're going to start applying for leadership positions, right, next year? Okay, so, nope, hell no, okay? Who's thinking about doing that? Or who's planning on it? William? Who? Several of you? Okay, good. How many of you are still going to do it if you move outfits? Who's not? Yeah, some of you guys are like, hell no, okay? I would tell you not to limit yourself that way, because guess what? You're going to have a job one day, okay, and then they're going to ask you to move. And you're going to have to decide if you want to do that. Okay? But that's a whole other thing. Okay, good. Hopefully Hopefully it was actually helpful. Okay. What do vegetarians eat when they get drunk?
Peanuts.
Huh?
Peanuts.
Grass? No. What'd you say?
Peanuts.
No. Hamburgers. What'd you say? Yeah, right. Is anybody vegetarian? Okay. Usually people cheat, okay, when they get drunk. Why?
I'm craving that hamburger.
Yeah, 'cause, well, it's delicious, right? Okay, or fuego, right? You what?
Inhibition goes out the window.
Absolutely. Okay, I chose to be a vegetarian. I eat this diet. I choose this lifestyle. Whatever. Okay, and then I had a whole bunch of beer, and I was like, oh my god, I want a double cheeseburger. Okay, because they're delicious, right? Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, good. You guys made decisions this week, and what's hilarious is you guys listed like 3, maybe. Caden actually had a decent amount. A couple of you had a decent amount. Nick's not here. Well, I was picking on him. He's like, I procrastinated and I didn't read till now, so I have to think back to the decisions I made. At least he was honest, okay? Do you know how many decisions you make about food on average a day? A couple hundred, right? Right. Yes. Okay? Whether you know it or not. It's in the book, right? Look at you who read. Some of you are like, that's shocking. Okay? It was right there in the text. Okay? Because if you go to Chick-fil-A, you got to pick how many nuggets you want, right? And then you got to pick if you want large or small. And then you got to pick if you want a Diet Coke, right? Sweet or unsweet. Okay? Then you got to pick your sauces. Okay? Right there, you just made half a dozen choices. You haven't even eaten yet. Okay? Then you got to decide if you're going to eat all 30 of those nuggets. Right? Delicious. Okay? Jackie, she gets 30 at a time. Just kidding. Just making sure you guys are awake. Okay? Sweet or unsweet tea?
Sweet.
Anybody drink unsweet?
My family makes me do that.
I feel guilty.
I get so mad when I get sweet tea. It's terrible for you. There's so much sugar in there.
Water.
It's happened twice. I got Whataburger on the way home from guard. By the way, I'm fully vaccinated. Yeah. And I got sweet tea. Right? Bad enough that I got a delicious double cheeseburger, which was delicious. I don't need all that sugar. I get so mad. Give me unsweet tea. Okay? I got McAllister's yesterday. Got a salad. Sweet tea. So mad. God. Give me unsweet tea. It's delicious. It's a habit. Get used to it. Some of you just don't like it because of the taste. Okay? I digress. When you made your bad choices, or your questionable choices, or I don't think was it Aurora? Was it Aurora or Hannah? Somebody wrote, I put sour cream on my burrito I shouldn't have. Was that you? Yes. Okay, now, food came up a lot with you guys, right? And that's 100% normal and natural, okay? Food is a hard one. But is sour cream bad for you? No. Okay? If we really want to get it, there's a book called, what'd you say?
She's lactose intolerant.
Oh, well, yeah, you're screwed. Yes, okay? Bad choice, okay? Don't eat like a carton. I had a buddy in college who did not know he was lactose intolerant, and we would get like the little Ben & Jerry's things, and he would just down it, okay? There were bad consequences for that.
I have 3 buddies that are, they just don't care.
Yeah, okay, some people don't care. Okay, so fair enough, right. If you're lactose intolerant, fair enough. Okay, but if you really want to get into diet, there's a lot to learn. There's a lot we don't know, and we basically proved that everything is bad for you, all right? So you need to eat a varied diet, okay? You can't just eat one thing all the time, but fat is not terrible for you. If you really want to get into the enemy, look at sugar, okay? Sugar and salt, pretty big enemy, right? But really, you need fat, and you need sugar, and we'll get into the...
And you need salt.
Huh?
And you need salt.
You need salt, yeah, but you know how much salt is in Chick-fil-A nuggets?
Way too much.
Quite a lot.
A shitload, okay? And they are delicious, right? Huh?
Don't look at your ramen.
Look, somebody wrote in their deal, they justified their dinner from Whataburger or wherever it was. So like, I made a poor choice for dinner, but I had a healthy lunch. So why would you undo it? Why'd you undo it?
Well, I mean, I was tired because I worked out like 3 times.
Okay, tired. Bingo. His willpower was already shot before you even got to dinner. Okay? He was already worn down. You guys wrote about naps and sleeping and all this stuff. None of you addressed the why. I didn't really ask you to, but not one of you said anything like, I think I made this decision because. Several of you wrote, I need to have stronger willpower. Right? But how do you do that if you don't really know what it is, or what caused that, or what led to that decision? Right? That's what we have to unpack. Okay? So when you made that decision, when you chose sour cream, when you chose your fast food, okay, instead of a healthier option, you need to think about why you made that decision. You uncovered part of it. Okay? But then, why were you tired? Okay? I didn't get enough sleep. I worked out multiple times. That's a good thing. Okay? But figure out, okay, if I'm tired, man, I better plan that meal ahead of time. I have to know. Don't drive to Whataburger. Right? Be like, okay, I'm going to go somewhere else, get something different. Okay? But think about the decision you made and why you did it and why you screwed up. Because you'll be able to head it off at the pass. If you can see, man, I know I'm tired, it'd be really easy to get that burger. Okay? You need to figure out why that decision failed. All right. Who struggles with temptation, addiction, distraction, and or procrastination?
All the above.
No? Not at all? You've never procrastinated? You didn't get to class on time? Huh? Why were you late? Perfect. Even Mr. 4.0 over here, okay, has it all figured out. Strong willpower. Why'd you raise your hand, William?
Because I just don't like doing the work sometimes.
Yeah, okay, right? Knows he wants a 4-point. That's part of his goal for law school, right? Sometimes it sucks, doesn't it? Sometimes you don't want to do it, okay? Right? Good. Cool. Okay, literally everybody struggles with this in some fashion or another. Everybody. Some people it's bad, okay? I have a friend who literally does not drink because he knows he has an addictive personality. Like, he knows when he finds something he really likes to do, he will, like, fixate on it, right? And because of that, he chooses not to drink because he thinks he would become an alcoholic, right? That's a pretty good thing to know, right? That takes a lot of work. That takes a lot of effort. And it's hilarious to me because he's still super high strung. Dude is, like, wound up all the time. And part of me is like, you kind of need a drink, okay? But he knows if he did, he would go too far, okay? This is something we all deal with. This is not just an individual weakness, all right? We give in to these things, and that's what you need to know about, okay? But everybody has these problems, okay? And guess what? Nobody gives a shit about yours, okay? A lot of people worry that people are always, like, watching you and judging you, and look, it happens. But most people are way too self-absorbed to do that. Most people aren't spending time worrying about you. Okay? I think that's an important lesson to learn because sometimes you don't realize that until way too late in life, and you just spend a lot. Somebody had a great quote their dad told them about worrying. Yeah, right. What is it? If stress and worrying really helped, then right. Okay, good. I like that. I thought that was good. Okay. What did you notice? What do you notice about your willpower challenges? Who?
I'm a very long foresighted person, so I think about things in the long term. So
Good.
usually when it comes to me failing with my own willpower, it's because I'm going back to, oh well, this nap wouldn't be that bad in the long run. But if I was just to be in the moment, be like, no, fuck it, I'm gonna do something else. I just need to act and do something else. Then I probably would have made that decision.
Okay. Yeah, you skip breakfast usually, right?
Yep.
And then you eat a ton at lunch. Okay. See, I read your guys' stuff. Okay. And then what happens after you eat that big meal?
Oh, I feel like garbage. And then I go to sleep.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. But why do you still do it? You still do it, right?
Well, I try to cut it out today.
Okay. Good. Just today. Just start.
Yeah.
Day one, man. You gotta start somewhere. Okay. It's like I saw some article the other day. A lot of the country is still, pretty closed. A lot of people are not in their office. And it was about how your first day back in the office, you're going to realize you're too overweight. It's going to be like the first day at the gym. Okay? And I was like, what have people been doing the last 11 months? Like, for a lot of you guys, actually, PT scores got better. Right? Some people kind of threw in the towel, got lazy at first, right? Last spring, when everything kind of hit the fan. You're like, I don't have to get up. I don't have to do PT. And a couple of you are like, oh, this isn't good. And a lot of you start doing more PT, right? Which is a great response. You should be, okay? I can't wait. The Air Force starts PT tests again in April. I can't wait. I can't wait to see who's handled this because I can tell. Right. Okay. Oh God, somebody did this. What was the post? Several of you. Who wrote about their girlfriend told them to play video games? Yes. Did she really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because she likes to play video games with me, and
Oh, she plays with you. Well, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah, so we don't see each other at all during the week unless I'm picking her up or dropping her off.
Yep. Yep.
So she tries to make up for that on the weekends.
Okay, cool. And you, not a bad thing. Okay, there's some good in there. Spend some time together. Something you both like doing. Okay, but when you wrote about it, you justified it.
Yeah, I did.
You fully were like, well, we don't get to see each other very often, so this is okay, and we'll just slack off. Could you also spend the time studying together?
Potentially.
Yeah, probably. Okay. There's some other things you could have done, but you fully justified it. Okay. Again, not necessarily a bad thing, but this is exactly what we do with our decisions. Think about the decisions you make. You will fully justify them any way you can. Okay. Again, not always a bad thing, but definitely something we do. Okay. Have an open mind. How many of you were reading and were like, no, stupid?
Yep.
What didn't you like?
Well, I mean, like, just thinking about alternatives as I know what to do, and it's just to say no or just go do it either way. And I feel like that comes with being stubborn enough to just do it,
Okay.
as opposed to think about it and then, well, because then if I get into thinking about it, then I'm probably about, yeah, that's not that bad.
So if you think about it, it will be worse for you.
Yep.
Okay? Yes, sir.
What about the people that just use the excuse like you're gonna die anyway, or like something's gonna kill you, might as well be type of like,
Yeah, again, is that a reasonable justification?
no, but like people just use it.
Yeah, what do you think about those people?
I use it sometimes.
Sure, we all do. Okay? We will just, look, I love to barbecue. I love barbecue. Should I eat barbecue every day? You say yes? My man. Okay, good. I love it. Okay? Because I could totally justify that, couldn't I? Protein is good for me. It really is. Okay? Again, all things in moderation. That's kind of all we really know about diet. Okay? That we should all try. You know how they test diet, by the way? You know, because it's really hard to do? Usually in like prisons or mental institutions. Places where we can control the food. Because everybody lies about what they eat. If you try and do a study, you'll lie about what you eat. Okay? You had your hand up, Frederick. What? What didn't you like?
I don't want to be told what to do.
You don't want to be told what to do. Okay, cool. What else? Yes, sir.
More for me is the fact that it didn't really seem to, I guess, support the idea that people can get burnt out.
What do you mean?
If you're constantly throughout your entire life trying to essentially factor in everything that you're doing in order to achieve a goal,
Mm-hmm.
every now and then you can get burnout syndrome just from attempting to continuously at all times fulfill this need.
Yes, you're right. Okay, fair enough. So, excellent point. There was a general manager, I think it was an NBA team, and he got decision fatigue. Okay, and so what he did, he had like 50 blue blazers. So he would wear like, button-up shirt and a blazer every day to work. He didn't want to have to decide about the color. He did not want to have to decide first thing in the morning what he needed to wear because he knew ultimately it would wear him down. Okay? Google Calendar, right? Live by it. It's not a prison. Okay? It helps Caden. It helps him with his goals. It helps him organize. But if he sees something on there that he knows that he could put off or do later, that's okay. All right? So you're not wrong. And what I think you guys will find throughout the book, don't lose your thought. What I think you guys will find throughout the book, not all of these apply to you. Okay? We're just starting on it. This is an introduction. But some of these you're going to be like, dude, this is not an issue for me. That's okay. Yeah, good. What do you got, Jeffrey?
Yeah, so I'm a leadership major over in ag school.
Terrible,
And we
terrible
learned a
decision.
lot about like decision fatigue and stuff.
Yeah.
Basically, we're talking about like each person almost has like a set amount of like willpower each day, usually that they can use.
Ah.
And if you use it all in the morning, you wake up early, go work out and stuff like that.
Yes.
You're a lot more likely to mess up in the evening and stuff like that. So they're talking about like as a leader,
Yeah, this is why I revisited if you had me before, I've showed people the bias thing we did last week. This is exactly why. Because I wanted to revisit some of those. If there's too many decisions to make, you either won't make one or you'll make a poor one. Not saying you made a poor decision, okay? But you got worn down, all right? Some of the other guys were right. Well, we'll get to that, okay? Good. There's something else I want to bring up, okay? What is it that you guys are avoiding?
Yourself.
Yourself. Okay, why you don't like yourself? What do you,
I like I said, I think I said this a couple weeks ago. Like, I see myself as something that can be improved.
okay?
And a part of me is highly egotistical, and a part of me is pretty self-conscious.
Good
and
for you.
So when those two clash, it's more like I don't really like what I'm seeing in the mirror right now. And
Good. Okay, we're gonna get into that some more. What else? Yes, sir. Garrett.
For me, it's always been the actual fear of failure.
Okay.
That's just something I've always been.
Yeah. So you're scared of failure.
Yeah.
Okay, and that motivates you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Good. We're gonna talk about that. What else? What are you guys avoiding? What do you not want to do?
Effort.
Effort. Any
Yep.
effort
Yep.
whatsoever. Okay. Yes, you agree?
Definitely.
Why? 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 You're in the Corps, for God's sake.
Just didn't wanna.
Huh?
I just didn't want to.
I just don't want it. What do you got?
I guess just like I feel like I can't ever relax if I have more things to do, more things on my plate.
Can you relax?
I mean, when I'm sleeping, I'm not thinking about it.
Okay, fair enough. That's part of it. Okay, we're getting that. Sleep's important. Do you ever sit around with your buddies and bullshit?
Sure.
Okay, right? Pretty easy to do that, right? Okay, William, what do you got?
I was gonna say that I think people avoid doing the work because humans are naturally programmed to avoid doing things that are like hard or like potentially adversive.
Yeah. Yeah. Did I ask this class about digging a ditch? Did, right?
Yes.
Go dig a ditch. You're like, no. Then we had to find the motivation as to why, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
one person asks why, and you're like, this is why.
Yeah. Okay. Exactly. Right. When you're awake, this is what you're doing all the time. You're trying to figure out the duration of what you have to do, how long it's going to take, and what the outcome is. All the time, especially in school. You guys are figuring out what assignments I have to do, what tests I have to take, what will the outcome be, how long is it going to take. All the time. How long is PT? How long do I have to run? What's the point? When am I done? Okay? The only time you're not doing this is when you're asleep. That's one of the main reasons you need sleep. Give your brain a rest. What habit do you want to break?
Skipping breakfast.
Skipping breakfast? Good. Okay, not that hard. Breakfast is delicious. Okay. You like bacon? No? Eggs?
I don't like eating anything in the morning.
Toast? You don't like eating anything? This is a problem, man. You're waffles?
Nope.
Fruit?
Nope.
Hmm.
You could start with the grapefruit and go bigger.
That's what
Start with a grapefruit and
that's
what?
I'm trying to do.
Yeah, start with a grapefruit, then go bigger from there.
Okay. They're disgusting, but good for you. Okay. Yes, sir.
Like rebagging when I'm not tired, just for the sake of rebagging.
Yeah. Okay. How many are like, oh, I just want to go back to bed? Okay. We're gonna talk about that. Good. You want to avoid that? Yes. Same thing.
I was raising my hand up when you asked how many of you like say like, oh, I want to rebag, like you don't need to.
Yeah. Okay. Good. We'll work on these things all semester. What goals do you want to reach?
Bench 225.
Bench 2 plates. Okay. Good.
You
What?
gotta eat for that one.
Huh?
Yeah.
What?
He said it's like I want to bench 225, so you gotta eat for that one. Homie.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta eat in the morning. Okay. That's true. What else? What do you guys want to do?
Law school.
Law school. Good. Getting good grades because of it, right? Cool. What else? Internship to doing what? Who said that?
Personally,
Yeah.
supply chain operations.
Okay, good. How are you going to get a good internship?
Get good grades, apply.
Yeah. Should you be bagging in?
Probably
Do you see how there's a relation? Hey, look, I know you guys wrote about it. I want to get. Was it you that wrote about trying to get a 3.5? Yeah. Okay. And you're not doing great.
I mean, I'm on track, but like I'm definitely not doing as well as I should.
Yeah, because it's hard, right? I don't need to go back to sleep. Okay, if I got a good night's rest, I hope. Okay. We'll talk about sleep here in a minute, and we'll get into more of that. Think about your goals and when the decision breaks down. Want to eat healthy? When did your decision break down? I got tired. Okay. Remember what you want. You want to take a 2-hour nap?
Yes.
Do you want good grades?
No.
I'll tell you. It gets into sleep. We'll get into more about sleep. Okay, if you try to get a good night's sleep, it's better for you. Don't lose your thought. If you get a good night's sleep, it's better for you, especially early in the week. I know it's hard, but if you shut it down Sunday, you're going to be better off by Wednesday and Thursday. Okay, now, naps are not a bad thing. Except when you guys email me, I slept past my alarm, I'm really sorry. The longer nap is the problem. If you really want to recharge, you need to set your alarm for like 20 minutes. If you're genuinely tired, okay, it'll only take you a couple minutes to fall asleep. Take a 20-minute nap. And one of the keys is, when you wake up, is to stretch. This was out of, there was a guy who studied wolves. We didn't know anything about wolves not that long ago. And he lived with wolves and studied them and all that stuff. There's a movie about it. Came out in the 80s. Pretty good. And he started sleeping like the wolves. Okay, they don't sleep very long because they're trying to move with their prey, right? So they would take naps, quick naps. Every time they got up, he noticed they stretched. And if he didn't stretch, it took him way longer to wake up. So he would take the naps like they did and then stretch when he woke up and just get the blood flow and get you going a little bit, okay? If you need to recharge, because you do, you need to take a shorter nap. You do that 2-hour, 3-hour, 4-hour thing, you guys are screwed, right? You wake up tired, dragging, okay? Yeah, that's why, okay? You want to be happy and healthy? I hope so. You want to have good relationships? Really? Good. I thought we didn't care. Okay? You want to make money, have a good career. It's probably why you're here, at least to some extent. Okay? You want to be able to handle stress, conflict, overcome adversity. To keep your goals in mind. Right? That if we eat a bad meal, right, we feel like crap. Okay? If we made the decision to eat a little bit less or eat healthier, we'd probably be better off. Keep those things in mind. Self-control is a better predictor of academic success than intelligence. Okay? I'm not Dr. Payne because I'm super smart and I got a 4-point. I don't think I've ever got a 4-point until grad school. Okay? Maybe in like 3rd grade. Okay? Kind of down, up and down after that. Okay? I have a PhD. I have friends that are way smarter than me. Way smarter. But I'm a stubborn son of a bitch. Okay? You tell me I can't, I'm going to show you. Okay? It's literally a matter of putting my mind to it and not giving up. Right? I wanted to be a professor. It's the best job I've ever had in my life. It's what I wanted to do. Okay? It took me a long time to get here. Right? But I absolutely worked at it. Okay? And just grinded it out. So statistics that we talk about, I'm terrible. Accounting, not good. Okay? But I kicked ass in those classes. Okay? Self-control is a stronger determinant of effective leadership than charisma. Again, we talked about that sometimes you just see somebody and you like them, okay? They're a cool person, they got high energy, whatever. Does not necessarily mean they'll be a strong leader. Self-control is much better. Right? That time when you can refrain from losing your mind at somebody, right? And it's more important for a happy marriage than empathy. I will tell you that's true. Have some self-control, okay? In all manners. Okay. Who's this?
Phineas Gage.
Bingo! Did you learn something?
I've read about him before.
Okay, good. You learned about him before. Good. Okay, so you took what you already know and you put it within the thing. Good. Who else? Somebody say something? Yeah, Phineas Gage. That's the rod that blew through his head. Yeah, right? That went through his cheek, out his head. Okay, and he used it for a cane the rest of his days. All right. What happened to Phineas? Besides the rod going through his head, what happened to his actions? How did he act after the accident?
More aggressive.
More aggressive? Yeah. Huh?
It was like he didn't really care, essentially, what was going to happen regarding his actions.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you remember reading about the person that has similar issue and they were like propositioning family members?
Yeah, where they had to remove a piece of her brain.
Yeah.
And get rid of the seizures.
Right.
I think that she was epileptic. I think that was the story.
Yep.
And then she started making sexual advances on family members.
It's not good, right? Not normal. Okay. Yeah. So Phineas basically when the things that you are not going to do, okay, he no longer had that filter, right? It severed right through the right and the left brain. So the things that he wasn't going to do, he would just do and say, okay? We talk about with the bias driving in a car. Everyone thinks they're a great driver, except you're apparently not. Okay. This is the same thing. The things you would not say to a person, because you know better. When you're by yourself in your car, nobody can hear you, and you're just screaming at them, right? Okay? Could you imagine you do that on campus? Somebody like walked in front of you, get out of the way! Okay? Scared of that. Jacqueline, I want you to do that today. Okay? Next time somebody walks in front of you, just screaming. Okay? Be hilarious.
Sometimes I yell at the Air Force guys if they're getting in my way while I'm PT.
Of course. Typical Marine.
Yep.
Okay? Look, they have bigger brains to carry around, okay? That's why they're not as fast.
You need to work on those legs.
Yeah. Don't skip like that. Oh, I figured out how to put a GIF in PowerPoint. I'm so proud of myself. Okay? That's what we do, right? So you want that Whataburger. You worked out 3 times today. I deserve that Whataburger. Okay, fair enough. Okay? Just think about your choices. All right?
Do that when you work out, Dr. Payne?
Huh?
You do that when you work out, Dr. Payne?
No, but I work out so I can eat my barbecue. Absolutely.
Just making sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? I have a home gym, man. It's awesome. Yesterday was volume on squats, so I'm a little wobbly today. Okay. And deadlift. Okay, has anybody seen,
Exhibit A.
Exhibit A? I don't skip leg day.
Oh, okay.
Never, man. Never. Dude, leg day is 2 times a week. All I do is, I used to run. It's terrible for you. It's terrible for you. I wasn't getting bigger, fat. Wasn't getting stronger. I've always worked out, but I didn't really know what I was doing. And so for like last 3 years, it's just been barbell. I'm strong as shit for an old man. And I wish I knew that when I was younger. If I had started this when I was younger, oh my goodness, I'd be so much stronger. What do you have? What do you got?
Can we tell that to the core? Like all they do is run.
Yeah, that's hard. It's hard. It's a tough argument. You usually got to do it yourself. Fortunately, you guys are so young, you can do both. If I run while I'm doing, so my lifts are 4 days a week. If I run in the middle of that, squats are brutal. Right? It's hard to do both. You guys are young, you can do all of it. And just eat a lot. Has anybody seen this movie? It's an old classic movie. Steve Martin, it's from the 80s. It's hilarious, okay? You guys are all touching on it. The Man with 2 Brains. That's exactly who William is. I got a bit of an ego, right? But I also know when to have self-control. This is all of us, right? You know you want good grades, okay? You know you want that internship, but you also want to take a nap, right? I don't want to put out effort. Still got to do PT, right? Okay? This is all of us. Figure out which one's in control and when. Okay? Because you're caving into the wrong one. Okay? Hilarious movie, by the way. Okay. Here's some of the good news. Okay? You like Karen? Hold up. Has anybody not seen Talladega Nights? It's like 10 years old now, I think. You haven't seen it? Get out. Okay. What was the movie that people hadn't seen? It shocked the hell out of me. Anyway. Without desires, we would actually be depressed. Okay? This actually factors into sometimes why you're dealing with depression. You're not sure what you want. Okay? You're not focused on what you want. Okay? Without desires, we would be depressed. Okay? And without fear, we would fail to protect ourselves. This is fight or flight. Okay? If you remember in the movie, Ricky Bobby's all scared. Okay? And he's like, there's a cougar in the car. He's like, yeah, there's a cougar. I put it there. Okay? You got to learn to drive with the fear. Okay? 100% true. All right? Quote that whole movie. Okay? The self-control system, okay, and your survival instincts don't always conflict. All right? If you see a cougar, you're probably going to run. Not necessarily a bad thing. Okay? Sometimes your survival instincts are going to sit there and say, I don't need Whataburger. Okay? I don't need to eat 6 meals at lunch. Okay? Sometimes. Right? They don't always conflict. So sometimes that stuff that you don't think about, like we talked about last week, we're just reacting and we're just deciding it's instinct, not always a bad thing. Okay? Sometimes your body's actually going to help you out. Okay. When your mind is preoccupied, your impulses, not your long-term goals, will make your choices. Remember the email addict? What happened to her in the book?
She didn't even realize she was checking.
Yeah, I know you read it. You already proved that. Tell me about the email addict. Emily? Yeah, how many of you guys, did you even notice this about yourself? So you guys talked about watching videos or being on social media or like going to was Emily somebody went to a friend's to study. It's like, man, we didn't really study. Like, how many of you didn't even notice until it was too late that you had made the decision to do that? You just pull out your phone, right? No big deal. And then 15 minutes are gone. Somebody was writing about like an hour went by. They were watching YouTube. Emily. Yes. Yes. You can do simple things like move the app. Make it harder to get to. Take it off your front screen or whatever. Bury it a little bit. That way you at least know with a couple of clicks it takes you a little longer and you're like, oh shit, here I go again. Okay, there's simple things you can do with that. Okay, yeah. So the email addict she was addicted to email, and without even thinking about it, she would start pulling out her phone and going through it. Okay, when she realized, oh my gosh, I'm actually reaching for my phone. Okay, she would catch herself from that. So be aware of that. This is really hard to do. Okay, see if you can do it. Okay. This is one of the main reasons I advocated for this book. There's a study I brought up last semester, if you remember, about willpower. Okay, and they put people in a room, and it smells like chocolate chip cookies, and they're showing them pictures of chocolate chip cookies, right? And they bring out radishes. Who likes radishes? Okay, when it smells like cookies, I see cookies. I want cookies, right, Caden? I want that cookie. And then they gave them a little puzzle to do. They gave them a task. And they gave up really quick. And in the other room, smelled like cookies, see cookies, get cookies. How'd they do on the puzzle? Better. Okay? Willpower is just like a muscle, just like PT. You want to bench 225. Okay? You want a 3.5 GPA. There's no difference. You better work it out. Okay? You have to exercise it. Most of us don't really know how to do that. Okay? If you quit smoking, if you smoked for 10 years, when you stop, the benefits start reversing within hours. Like if you don't pick up that next cigarette, your body's already starting to heal. If you go a couple days, you're better off. You go a week or two, you're already getting healthy. Within like a month or 2 or 3 months, your lungs are actually repairing themselves significantly, okay, to reverse the effects of that. Bodies are pretty resilient that way, right? So if you stop doing the bad thing, the reward happens pretty quickly, believe it or not. Just give it a little time. Okay, who thinks that's meditation? Who just wants to go to North Cape, considers that meditation? Solid, some of you are like, yeah. Okay, all right. So we only have a few minutes left, which is good. Okay. Going to the lights. Ah! Just a little bit. So glad they put the LEDs in here. These really noisy lights. Okay. Get yourself comfortable in your chair there. Just relax for a minute. Okay. It's already falling asleep. Some of you were asleep before we started this. Okay. I want you to close your eyes and just slow your breathing. I'm going to put on some, I can't put on music. I want you to try and get your breathing down to like 4 to 6 breaths a minute. You're not holding your breath, don't make it painful, but I want you to just slow your breathing and relax. Take some time to think. Just relax for a few minutes here. moved from Oregon to Florida for my job. So really crappy winters to Florida winters, which are awesome, which are why people live there. Same thing here. And I spent a couple years there, and we're moving again. And my mom was down helping us move, and she went and sat on my back porch on this nice sunny day when it was like 70. She was just sitting out there relaxing. In 2 years, I had never done that. This great yard, great neighborhood. I was going to school full time, okay, working full time, serving part time in the military, raising a family. I was going, just like you guys. Sometimes it's just a matter of taking a few minutes, sit down, relax, okay? How many of you were thinking about things you needed to do? That's fine. That's fine. Focus on it, okay? Man, okay, I got 3 things I got to do. I can do them this time, okay? That's okay. This isn't clear your mind of all thought, okay? Anybody seen Ghostbusters, the original? The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man shows up, okay? You're not supposed to think about anything. If you haven't seen Ghostbusters, then you got homework, okay? Watch the original Ghostbusters, okay? Just take a few minutes sometimes, okay? You guys literally just made all of your brain stronger. You just increased blood flow to your prefrontal cortex, which helps you make the decisions to do things or not do them, okay? So just take a few minutes. This isn't, I need to sit on top of a mountain, okay, and meditate for an hour. Sometimes just a few minutes during the day, during the week will really help you out, okay? Cool. I will have next assignment posted today. It'll be reading chapter 2, okay, and we'll have some questions related to that, okay? Sound good? Have an awesome week. Go do great things. Consider to think about the choices you make. Cool? Okay.